What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're out here in the shop. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we're working on the wide body Fiero. We need to do an oil change. Simple stuff, but important stuff. It's been about 4,000 miles, I think, since I've done the swap, and I had all summer on it, then it sat all winter, and I want to get some fresh oil in it for the season. This is the oil I've been using. It's Penn grade, partial synthetic oil, 10W30, 5 quarts. When I was going through my pile of parts, I found these frame oil filters. And these are awesome filters because you can use them to practice making it into your trash can. I can't believe I just made that. I got another one too. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you son of a...
That's good editing.
And then I went to O'Reilly's after I found those, and I bought a wicks filter. Really, if you don't understand that, do some research online. There's some people that have cut open the oil filters, and those wicks are the best. The Frams are pretty much the worst. And then the company that makes Fram purchased AC Delco and a few other brands, Mobile One I think, and the quality of those has gone down too. And Wicks is pretty much your best oil filter. Since I have such a pristine, low mileage engine, I want to use nothing but the best. This is $60 worth of oil and filter. That makes sense. Let's get started on this. So I always like to take off my oil cap, pull up my dipstick so I don't forget that I have to put oil in it. And then we'll put the car up in the air. We will drain the oil out of it. I think the drain plug is a 15 millimeter. Take the oil filter off of it and make a giant mess because it's right above the subframe. That makes sense. And then we'll put the new filter on it. Clean up our mess. Put the drain plug back in after it's done draining. And also I have a grease gun hanging up on the wall over there. We'll go ahead and we'll lubricate our upper and lower ball joints and tie rods on the front, our lower ball joints and tie rods in the rear, and then we'll put it down, put oil in it, and that's the gist of it. Let's get started. Here's the drain plug, and it was a 15 millimeter. The fun thing here is trying to catch it, because this oil catch can has a small top, but this thing is cold too, so the oil won't flow out too fast. And then with the oil filter, I don't know if we can see it or not, it's right there. As you see, the engine mount and the subframe are right in the way, so that's gonna make a mess. And then when I was talking about greasing the ball joints, these are your grease zerk fittings on the lower ball joints in the rear. There's also one here on your tie rod on the rear, the outer tie rod. And if we go to the front, you've got lower ball joint, outer tie rod, and then there's one up at the top there for the upper ball joint. And obviously that's all on the both sides. So while my oil drains, I'm gonna go ahead and grease all that stuff and then make my giant mess with the oil filter. Alright, now for the real fun, the oil filter off of here. Oh hey, it's not even really that tight. Great. Good job, James. I don't know if you guys caught it in the time lapse either, but the drain plug was not all that tight on the oil pan either. Like, it was slightly above finger tight. So apparently I failed at tightening things because I did put a new filter and oil in this when I did the engine swap. Making too big of a mess. Of course, we're not done yet. Oh yeah, there's that. You also want to make sure O-ring here on the bottom of the oil filter stays on the oil filter and doesn't stay on the engine, because then you're going to double gasket it and that makes a huge mess. And you want to lubricate your ring on your new oil filter before you put it on. I just use the old filter, kind of rub them together. That puts some oil on the ring of the new filter. Some people fill their oil filter before they install it. Such a small filter on this, I'm not going to. If you have a giant oil filter, probably not a bad idea. It's going to take, a few seconds for that to fill up without oil pressure. It saves some wear and tear on your engine, but like I said, this is such a small oil filter that it's not really going to matter. And I plan on finding a lower mileage engine at some point to build. This engine's not going to be in here forever. Somehow I have managed to do this with minimum spillage. Tighten that up this time. Now to clean up the mess. Wish that I would have purchased brake cleaner when I was at the parts store buying the oil filter. Oh well. Let's see if I have anything that works. Well, I found a little bit of carb cleaner, so I guess that's better than nothing. Just don't want it to leak everywhere. Oh. All right, so now we're gonna put the car down and we will fill it with the 5 quarts of oil that I have here. Start it up, let it build up its oil pressure, and then we'll just verify that it's full, which it should be. I hope it is, because I don't have another quart of oil. That makes sense. It's time to buy a case. So let's do that. We'll get the car down and fill it up. All right, so I have this funnel here, which will hopefully make it easier pouring these quarts of oil. It's a nice wide funnel. Got my trash cans set up. We got our frame oil filters down in there. Gotta make sure they stay in their home. So now we can pour these 5 quarts of oil in here, and you can laugh at me when I spill. And I will probably still spill. Or we'll be lucky and I won't spill. All right, all 5 quarts of oil are in there. Put the cap back on. And before anybody gives me crap about putting 10W30 in here, the cap says 10W30. I'm just following the directions of the car. That makes sense. Make sure that we have enough oil in here before I decide to start this. Yes, we do. All right, let's fire it up. All right, it built good oil pressure. Let's double check and make sure we are full after filling up the oil filter and letting it circulate around the engine for a second. Which we are right at the full mark. This could be in a better spot. Oh yeah, it was when it was in the Buick Regal. It was the front of the engine. All right guys, so there you go. That's how you change the oil on a 3800 in a Fiero, or pretty much any other car that you need to change the oil on. So, if you like this video, leave me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Why not? It's free. And I will see you guys next time. Oh, you son of a...
That's the best editor.